Okay. Okay, and we are go for responding to dude on the PlayStation as kindly and respectfully as I can, because it is kind of a hard topic, and players reacted to your shared content. I don't know if that popped up on the screen. I will try to react to you again fairly and all that, because truth be told, I do want to be nice here. I don't want to take this as Facebook was before I left and or got kicked off of there. Still not fully sure what happened there. But either way, I'm trying to be nice because this is a community I like, and I don't think you coming at me aggressively, so I'm trying to, again, respectful, you know? Give what you get. So, in response to the guns and all that, and we still need them to defend our family, no, all that. Honestly, and truth be told, not really. I mean, maybe for certain things, like if you live way out in the wilderness where grizzly bears or some sort of rabid animal might come into play. I've heard now I've never personally experienced coyotes attacking me like up close. Had a close call when I got hit by a car, but never like got attacked. But as far as like you protecting your family with the gun, statistically, according to the Department of, one moment, because I'm trying to do this fairly accurately, you know, I don't just want to be bullshitting y'all. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, when it comes to gun violence, statistically, you are more likely to be the one to shoot your family member accidentally than you are to protect them with the gun. Now, am I saying that it's impossible you're going to shoot your grandchild or your child with your gun? No, I'm not saying that. If you secure your weapon correctly and properly train with it, and by that I mean more than just keeping it in a shoebox in your closet for one time a year to go to the gun range. I mean like go into the range regularly, once a week, once a month, which for the record, if you're a gun owner, you should do these things regularly. Now, for the police matter and all that, I'm sorry, that one's a little too heavy, a little too personal, a little too difficult to talk about, unless I get my friend who has the degree in criminology involved, because honestly, I don't know enough about it to talk about it. I don't think ACAB, but I do have like hard to talk about. When it comes to personal, me, you, civilian fuckers owning guns, again, if you're a civilian with a clean record, no criminal history, and like no history of violence, you haven't abused your spouse, you don't get into the drink or the drug too often, and all that, you're a law-abiding Andy, I don't see the problem with you having a gun, because you seem to be able to follow all the other rules that society has laid down. I hope I said that word right. Rules. But if you're like abusing your spouse, like a lot of cops tend to do statistically, if you're drinking too much, which a lot of gun owners that buy their guns at auction, for example, or gun shows is another example, then no, I'm sorry, you should not be allowed to own a gun. If you've got a history of mental illness, you should not be allowed to own a gun. I'm all for an average citizen owning a firearm, but I have a real problem with how our country in particular, being North America, fetishizes gun ownership. I mean, don't you personally, PlayStation viewer, who I'm not going to pull up for sake of privacy, think that, I mean, there's an issue in a country where you can't get a therapist, and it's like a 2-year waiting limit to get to a mental health facility check-in, unless you're like all the way, you know, ready to check out of life. And even then you might not get care quickly. But I can right now, I can either have a mental breakdown and wait 3 weeks to get to get checked out by a therapist, or again, not really, but hypothetically, or I can hypothetically go down to the pawn shop, purchase a firearm, give it about 4 days, and then have a gun in my hand that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I have an issue with that. I have a big issue with that. And I have a mild issue with the fact that not so many people seem to care. Again, when we were children, as you pointed out, putting your date of birth in the I'm sorry, I would like to be more direct with you, giving you a name and all that. I don't want to be rude. I am going to try to find a way to put this into the thing, because I don't debate bro that much. I'm not trying to gotcha. This is two people having a conversation on a thing. If I could afford to play online, I'd say let's go into a room and just shoot at each other for a while we talk this out. But I think our country has a real problem that we need to talk about. I mean, I think there in the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to have a real problem with gambling, if we don't already have a big problem with gambling. But no one's going to take a lottery ticket and murder a shopping mall full of people. No one's going to take a slot machine and gun down a black Baptist church because they don't like the color of that person's skin. We got problems, but I feel like the gun problem in America is a much more clear and present danger. And like I said, I'm trying not to make it an emotional thing, but it is inherently an emotional kind of thing. I mean, if you want me to be emotionless about it, fine, but look at the record. Give me 3 weeks. Just, hell, give me a week that no one in America got gunned down. And yeah, maybe you can respond, oh, how long's it been since the last person in Britain was stabbed? And I'll point out, unless they're on Assassin's Creed and they're Ezio Auditore or a trained assassin, how many people can someone stab versus how many people can a semi-automatic firearm take out in about 10 minutes? I mean, it's just math here, man. It's just math. I'm not even, like, against guns. You want to go have fun and play with it, fine, but it's a tool. At the end of the day, it's a tool that only does one thing. And, again, if you're a law-abiding citizen, are you gonna, if the government says, hey, give up the guns, are you gonna be a law-abiding citizen and turn over the gun? Or are you gonna be a little anarchist and go fight the government over your gun? Because I don't know if you know the weight of the U.S. government, but if they decide to come take the guns, I'm sorry, there ain't an amount of civilian force that's gonna stop them. I'm sorry, you're bringing bombs and pipe bombs and guns to a drone and a tank fight. I mean, the IRA was awesome in their time period, if I can say that without upsetting the mods or anything else on here. But that period of time where a bunch of people can just put on their trench coats, get their weapons, and go fight the government, that period of time was barely there when they were doing it. Nowadays, again, you're bringing pistols and rifles to a drone and a tank fight. Fight the U.S. government and your fight will last all of an hour. And again, not to be mean, but anybody who's out there saying, well, it's going to protect my family, but I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Not to be mean, but okay, where are you at right now when people are being deported just because they look funny? Where are you at when families are in fear that American civilian families might be getting deported to El Salvador for being slightly brown? I mean, where are all the gun-toting patriotic badasses waiting for Red Dawn at now? Oh wait, they're nowhere to be found. They're hiding and holding on to their gun and saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. When the Nazis come to my door with their tanks and their semi-automatics and their fully automatics, I'll get them. I'll get them. My 9mm, that'll stop them. Yeah, I will. My grandpappy's old rifle that's a single shot, that'll show them bastards when they come to my door with ATVs and tear gas and tanks. I'll stop them then. Sure will, by George. I mean, where do you folks live at? Where do you think you're gonna stand at? I would say that what was it? When they put the oil lines through the Native American burial grounds, and literally the goddamn Avengers, the cast of the Avengers showed up and was like, hey, we shouldn't let this happen. I would say that would have been your moment to realize, oh, wait, the government's really stepping over things and they're not gonna take just harsh words as an example anymore. But I mean, at this point, we've got a full-on, you can compare him directly to it, a fascist running the country, who says, don't trust your lying eyes, don't trust your evil sympathy and empathy, and of course, don't trust the Lügenpresse, or the lying press, the fake news. I mean, again, I'm not saying to go fight because you will die. The U.S. government will defeat you. But I'm saying, don't pretend like you're going to do anything about it, when we all know none of you are, because none of you have. The only ones who tried was one fucking mental health patient boy who we're still debating as a nation whether or not he was aiming for Trump or if they had him go out there as a patsy to drum up support. Personally, I don't think it was a setup because I don't think Trump is brave enough to have someone shoot at him. But at the same time, I mean, come on now. Where were y'all at when he launched tear gas on Lafayette Square and, like, went after a bunch of peaceful protesters the first time around? Where were you at when currently ICE is deporting children with cancer that are American citizens? Again, for the sake of clarity and for sake of legal coverage, I am not calling to action or violence here. I am pointing out simple facts. I am not telling anyone to do anything. I am not a lawyer. I am a motherfucking fry cook. But I am also someone who's read history books, and not just the American propaganda ones that say how awesome we are and how we went in there and beat Hitler with our giant American capitalist dick. I understand that when Hitler first came to power, the first people he went after were the Romanovs. And yeah, you can fire back with, well, yeah, but he also took the guns from the Jews first. I mean, if you're waiting for them to take the guns, bud, by the time they do that, you've already lost the game. And again, not a call to action, not a call to violence. We need to be protesting. We need to be calling our politicians. We need to be doing everything peacefully within our power to throw sands in these gears and to say no. To say, hey, I'm not going to fight you because I'm a pacifist, but be damned if I'm going to help you. I mean, and yeah, this is a gun discussion, and I would love to actually be able to be talking to you. Okay, recapping what I just read. You agree that the cops need to change a lot of their things. On that, we can find middle ground. I feel like that's where any discussion should start. So on that one, cool, we definitely agree. Secondly, you said that education, self-defense, 100% agree. I think that everyone that is on this network, PlayStation network, who's into self-defense games, like, well, self-defense games is a very generous way to put it. I think if you like Mortal Kombat, if you like Tekken, if you like MMA, if you like the various fighting games, you should take up martial arts. You should give it a try. Yes, you will look foolish for a while. You will look damn foolish. laugh at yourself as you learn. Because when you first started playing that game, you looked like a damn fool too, didn't you? What you embarrassed about? We all look foolish when we start things out. Go, do it. You will build a good, healthy community. Because believe it or not, and I'm speaking of this one from experience, the full contact sports community that's not like, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to get big, the ones that are just going to the gym, doing their rounds, doing their thing, and playing with their friends, this is the healthiest bunch of dudes I have ever fucking known. They are a bunch of fucking sweethearts. Now, they're dangerous sweethearts. Don't fuck with them. But, like, it's a good, strong community of people. And yes, 100% work with that community. Education, I said that at the beginning of this rant. Know your weapon inside and out and understand that it's a weapon. But the whole it's coming preparedness or not, that's the last thing he wrote, and I didn't quite know how to take that other than, I mean, yeah, all empires fall. The American empire will be no exception. But I would like for it to be not ideally within ours or our children's lifetime. And if it needs to fall, I would like for it to fall into a gentle, like, we're going Starfleet, not we're going Mad Max. I mean, recently, V for Vendetta popped on one of the things to try to diffuse this a bit and make it less gotcha bullshit. Because, again, I'm not giving away your name on here. I genuinely don't know how to do this debate thing on this. I'm much more comfortable with YouTube and such. But, and most of these stats are coming right out the old butthole. I just know that, you know, the stats are there. And I have read them within the last year and a half. And I do make the bet knowing that if you can prove me wrong, please do. I would love to be proven wrong. Show me that America's not devolving into a fucking Mad Maxian style goddamn wasteland. Hell, start with this one. Look across all 50 states and show me 1 week, full 7 days, Monday through Sunday week, that nowhere in America was there what would be considered a mass shooting, where more than 2 people were shot and or wounded by a gun. Just do that for me. Post in this video or the next ones or wherever you like. I want you to, please. Just make it an actual stat from an actual, like, reputable source. Ground News is a good place to start to try to search. I think they have a search part. I don't know. As soon as I get the extra cash, I will get Ground News, because I would love to do some more news style segment to this. And honestly, personally, PlayStation viewers specifically on this one, you know who you are. I know who you are. That's all that needs to know who you are. I'll say thank you for letting me have this opportunity to basically make more content and talk. Because here's the thing, like it or not, Trump is in office. I keep hearing my coworkers who I like, for example, one of the ladies that I work with say, well, they just need to impeach him. And while I fully think, yes, that's nice, let's do that, we impeached him twice the last time. Hell, we impeached him over Goya beans during his first time. Because technically, even though he was playing car salesman this time, last time we got him because as President of the United States, you're not supposed to use that position to shill bullshit of any kind. Literally, look in through the history books of it. There has never been a president to shill an actual product until Trump. Now, yes, buy war bonds is a thing, and if you're come visit our national parks, then yeah, you're sponsoring the U.S. You're a United States. You are of the highest office the United States has to offer. You can say, come look at our parks. They're beautiful parks. But you can't say, hey, buy these beans that I own some stock in. I mean, fuck's sake, that's one step, and again, I like your age because I feel like if we sat down, we could have a coffee or something like that and talk like people. But it's like, come on, man. You said you were here before 9/11 and for other stuff. You were here for it. You remember how bad it was during fucking Never Forget and Go Fuck Yourself, We're American. They hate us because they ain't us. I mean, but even then, Bush never said, hey, y'all, you know, the terrorists will win if you don't buy a Ford. It was always, we need to back our capitalist system. We need to back our American businesses. But it was never blank business. It was always American business. And again, I'm not accusing you of being a Trump supporter by a stretch unless you want to jump in here and own that. You want to own that, I'm not going to stop you. I will judge you a little, but I'm not going to stop you because, again, I like this community, and I feel like me turning up my nose to you or you turning up your nose to me and just, well, fuck you then, isn't going to lead to anyone getting any better. And I'm all for people getting better if we can get better. So, like I said, Olive Branch here. My info's here if you want to message me and ideally teach me something about messaging on here and talking on here better, because I'd love to actually be a better member of this community. But, I mean, when it comes to guns, man, my situation's wobbly and sticky. I just know we got a fucking problem. And I think we can both meet on the middle ground of, unless you can prove to me we're not having mass shootings every week, a mass shooting a week is kind of a fucking problem. I mean, especially considering that our, again, and please don't be mad at the source I'm using here, but check out Last Week Tonight, because, you know, British man gives us sad math facts. Check out the stats on there as well, and some of them are out of date now, because I think that came out years ago. But that's what got me interested. Also, Stephen King wrote a book about his, that I believe they're making a movie out of now. But when the book first came out, The Running Man, or something like that, The Walking Game, it's a book set in a dystopian future where there's a game show going where several competitors compete in a game. If you win, you're set for life financially. If you lose, you don't really have any financial problems. The dead don't have financial problems. And it was a big, like, he pulled it from the shelf because he heard Timothy McVeigh, the sniper, had read and been inspired by his book. In response to the backlash to him pulling that book, because, you know, people will always make shit political when it's not, or it is, he wrote a book saying why he did it, and how, hey, if it hurts so many people and all it'll cost to not hurt these people is to not do the thing, it's irresponsible to do the thing just because. Now again, I'm for understandable gun control. If you're living way out in the fucking woods where bears and wild animals is a legit threat to you, yeah, fuck yeah, get a gun. But you don't. What animal do you need a fucking semi-automatic AR-15 rifle for? I mean, seriously, what animal do you need that many shots to hit? And I had a gun nut for a cousin. Technically, he's still alive. I just don't claim him as my relative anymore. But it's like, I understand. I can go to Home Depot right now and make a rifle. Most people who've played the Fallout franchise can at this point, with a general concept of working parts. It's not like you're going to stem the flow of firearms. But at the same time, if I take a gun and go shoot my neighbor, and I know right out the gate that's a life fucking sentence, I'm going to be less likely to do it. Now, knowing human minds and reading books by like Robert Sapolsky and some of the other neuroscientists, maybe it won't work out as I'm planning because, you know, people are weird, and we can threaten to hang mass shooters by their ball sacks until they die, and crucify them and bloody eagle them and enter your favorite form of medieval torture, and yet those school shootings are still happening. Just now the people who shoot up the schools are killing themselves afterwards. I'm trying, and again, I'm a fucking fry cook, dude. I don't know what you do. You did not say. I'm kind of happy you didn't, because nobody trying to flex their job here. But it's one of those, I don't have the answers. I just read books and shit. I read books and shit, and I do my best with what I've got. And when I see a problem, I'm like, oh, well, let's do my part, what little bit there is to fix it, where I can. In the case of my part, with my anger issues and quickness to jump to shit, I don't own a firearm. Now, I'm assuming you're not the type of right-wing douchebag who, oh, I know whose house to break into now. Because, no, you're right, I don't own a firearm. I do own a full set of cooking utensils. I know how to butcher meat. And I'm not a badass, but how quick can you dodge a meat cleaver? How quick can you dodge 4 to 5 of them being thrown at you at once from a position that you don't know where I'm at? I'm not a badass. I just know the environment I live in better than the person trying to invade my environment. And the other plus side to my thing is just that. How many people can I murder with my very nice sharp meat cleaver before somebody stops me? Because again, if with my meat cleaver, and it comes back to that fun question to make it more fun, 100 people versus 1 gorilla. Unarmed people, I think that gorilla would pack them in, because out of that 100 people, about 10 to 20 are going to try to fight the gorilla. And if it's a gorilla that's been in captivity, just a normal average silverback been in captivity its whole life, and it's a teenage, well, I said silverback. If it's a teenage gorilla been in captivity its whole life, it's going to pack in them 20, and the rest of those people are going to basically be trying to find a way out of that room that doesn't involve getting anywhere near that gorilla. Because people are inherently, and I'm not going to say cowardly, because it's not cowardly. It's, as a society, we have decided, hey, if you're a dick, we don't like you. We aren't going to do happy service with you. We're going to deal with you as we have to, but if we get the chance to cheat you on a game, we're going to cheat you. If we get the chance to charge you extra, we're going to charge you extra. We get the chance to hurt you, we're going to hurt you. And we've decided to do this as a society. I mean, again, why you think it is, and I'm not worried about monetization. None of my videos are monetized. I'm just hoping my shit don't get pulled off YouTube for this. But, I mean, why you think it is that right now I'm trying to learn how to carve a wooden statue of Luigi Mangione in a Saints apron? Because there's a market for it right now. Also, I think that'd be a bitchin' little accessory for my room. But why you think that a man who supposedly, accordingly, allegedly shot down a CEO in cold blood, why you think he's a national hero right now? It's because we are fucked as a society, and we all realize there are 2 sets of laws. I mean, when it comes to law enforcement, I think that we need to take a gigantic chunk of our taxpayer money, since we're arming them to be as armed as the military is, and we should disarm them a good chunk. Give them all the armor in the world they want, but don't give them all the big guns. Also, we should completely defund ICE and, in fact, label them as a terroristic organization. We also should work to do more alleviating problems rather than causing them. Eliminate for-profit prisons completely, because guess what? We live in a capitalist hellscape. If you can make money at it, they will try to find a way to game it, to streamline it, to make more money. I mean, why do you think it is that currently at the restaurant I work at, a steak biscuit will cost you around $8? Why do you think that is? Do you think the steak, the cube steak that comes in a frozen box, do you think that costs $8? Do you think they're paying me $8 an hour? Technically, they're paying me 10. But where do you think the cost is coming from? It's coming from the fact that we got a CEO that thinks, oh, last year I made $200 billion. This year I need to make $400 billion. How do I make that without totally upending my market? Everyone's playing a game. So, of course, if you've got a group of people that are not incentivized to, hey, let's make these people better, productive members of society. Let's educate them and make them more productive. Well, I'm repeating myself. Let's help them to not come back here. Let's make their environment stable and safer to where they want to be stable and safer. Of course you're not going to do that if you're making money for each head you've got in the prison. Of course you're not going to do that if that's the labor you've got cleaning all of your parks and doing all your dangerous jobs like, I don't know, fighting fires in California. Of course you're not going to do that. You're going to make sure that they've got as much incentive as possible to come on back. You're going to make sure that the gangs run rampant, that they've got no safety net outside of the jailhouse, that they've got no way of getting out safely. You're going to do your damnedest to make sure you can keep those numbers up. Now, to the credit of the organizations, there are several organizations run by inmates and former cops that are there to basically educate, re-educate, teach people how to de-escalate situations. But most of those organizations are not run by your local police department. Most of those organizations are run by ex-cops who got upset by the situation, or former inmates who got out and realized, hey, the game's fucking rigged and I ain't got a job to go to after this. At least not one that's going to pay me enough to live on so I can still pay my fees. And if you've got nothing else to do but return to your gang, well, guess what, honey? You're going to go back to your gang. It's not a matter of honor among thieves. It's a matter of, do you want to eat or do you want to die? Because, again, we live in a society where that's your fucking choice. And, again, not to play that part, because, again, some of these people are genuine monsters. I think even in a perfect communist society or perfect egalitarian, I want to say, utopian. In the perfect utopian society, yeah, you're still going to have a Ted Bundy somewhere in the mix. But if everyone's healthy, everyone's mentally stable, everyone can go get medication and go to the doctor and get help, I think we'll have a lot less. Also, a lot more people will be able to report and help and pitch in if they don't think, oh yeah, I can go pay taxes, but then my dipshit country might arrest me at the fucking office where I'm paying taxes because my name's fucking Jose. You can't tell people, hey, by the way, trust us, we're going to help you. Oh, but we might also send you to El Salvador to die in a prison while we laugh about it. You can't have both, honey. You can't have both. You can either strength through power, power through purity, purity through testing. Or, hey, how about we make it good so everyone gets to make it? And if you want to be the douchebag that, no, fuck them. I want to make it. I want my family to make it, but fuck them. Fine, be that way, but be that way in the open. Don't be that way because, ooh, but my family. Be that way in the open or don't be that way, you know? Because for me, I ain't got a family. I ain't got no kids. You want to know why I ain't got no kids? Because by 2050, the world's going to be on fucking fire, literally. Even more literally than right now where, hey, check on it. Is California out yet? Last I checked, they were still burning in certain sections. I didn't want to bring kids into this mess. And if you did, I both applaud your bravery and question why. Where's your bunker at that your kids are going to go to when suddenly the sky catches fire every other day? Now I'm being a little bit hyperbolic there. And again, I've gone far from PlayStation viewer. I'm no longer talking about you directly. I'm talking more about the general frustration I have with people being willingly and, like, obtuse intentionally. Where I give a very simple thing like, hey, kids getting shot at their desks is fucking dystopian, right? And someone wants to come in with, yeah, but the family. I don't want to be that asshole. I don't want to be that asshole. But, hey, bud, if your family has to live in fear, but every other family in America gets to send their kids to school without a bulletproof vest, fuck your family. I think the kids deserve to go to school without having to worry about getting shot. Now that one, again, was not directed at you, humble PlayStation viewer. I'm not atting you at that one. I've just had this argument 4 times this week. It feels like, you know, I don't want to be mean, but it feels like there's a problem and the house is on fire and I'm saying take away the matches and y'all are like, but what if the kids need matches? Okay, make it individual to where the ones who need them get them. But not everyone can get them. I mean, not to be mean, but this problem seems fairly self-explanatory if you get rid of your gun boner. And again, it's not like this is a problem that's a nationwide across the world. Hell, look at the Swedes. I think that's saying that correctly. Swedish people in the audience, feel free to correct me. But look at them. They've got just as many guns per capita as we do. And surprisingly, I don't know how they do it, it's magical. They don't have any mass shooting situations. I mean, not since a couple bad situations happened and they changed their system. And that one was on The Daily Show. Like I said, I'm sorry this turned into a rant. I'm trying to be polite. But when I start thinking about it, this has been a problem since 2000 and when did Columbine happen? And it isn't getting better. And literally, thoughts and prayers at this point is a very upsetting term for me. Because we don't do thoughts and prayers for literally anything else. I mean, there is no other situation across the board that we do this with and it's seen it. Oh, that worked. That thoughts and prayers, that worked. That's good. I mean, cancer. People are dying of cancer. Oh, no, that's not research. That thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. I mean, and again, disarm me. Disarm me. Prove me wrong and simply show me 1 week, 1 7-day week that was not during COVID, that America did not have a mass shooting somewhere. And the only reason I'm saying not during COVID is because during COVID we were on lockdown and, yeah, a lot of shit dropped during COVID. Prices on everything dropped during COVID. It wasn't because we were doing so great and winning. It was because everyone was inside. But I keep seeing players reacted to my shared content. So I'm going to go see if you're going off on there. And I'll respond to this. Hopefully you see this. Again, have a good day. I'm not trying to be mean to nobody. I like this group. I like my community. So far, I haven't been called one racial slur. So I'd like it to not be a Call of Duty lobby out there, you know? You dig me? You feel me? Alright, thanks, y'all. I'm going to sign off of here for now, and when I sign back on here in a few more minutes, rant will be over, okay? I appreciate everybody who's watching me. I appreciate everybody who does watch me. I like to, keep the thing light-faced, you know? Alright. Talk to y'all in a minute. We're coming back after I give the dogs a walk, and we will be on another subject. Just so I'm not a liar, let me check what dude said. Let me get to a safe spot. Okay, see, this is exactly why I didn't sign off yet, because now I got whole new rants. News and radio and everything is misinformed. Wake up, people. toe tagging. I'm going to say your online handle because I'm assuming you're cool with it. Toe tagging. How old are you? Because, seriously, man, when I say children, I do not mean literal children. If you're under the age of, well, you said you were, like, Gen X age. Brah, where do you get your news from then, brah? What do you learn from? I learn from everybody around me. I take in information. Brah, come on, brah. Wake up. How about you wake up and you show me some expertise in something, okay? Because now I'm going to quote the great man of the people, Bill Burr, my Bilbo Burson, and say this. Sir, I am not a doctor. I did not go to school for that. I don't know shit about medicine outside of, like, you know, cough syrup when I get sick, fever's bad and don't go into work because I don't want to spread sickness. I'm not a fucking doctor. But when it comes to shit like COVID, I will trust goddamn Anthony motherfucking Fauci before I trust some dipshit named Toe fucking Taggin. Okay, Mr. Toe fucking Taggin? Feel free to at me at this. I don't care anymore. Your opinion means nothing to me. I'm still one for the community, y'all. Straight up, everybody who's not Bilbo Toe Bagging here. Mr. Toe Jam here. And I'll still sit down across from you and say these things to your face if you want to say something to my face. But it's like, bruh, come on now, be real with me here. Let's be real. You ain't this way. Tell me you ain't this fucking stupid, bruh. Come on. Because, again, prove me wrong. Show me the stats. Because if you ain't got no stats, you ain't got nothing to stand on. Because we can all sit here and pull shit out our ass. What I'm citing to you was from the Southern Poverty Law Center. Are you saying they're woke and bought? Because if you're saying they're woke and bought, who bought them? What's making them woke and bought? And if we can't trust any stats, then what are we doing then? Why are we on here talking? What is this society that we live in? Come on, man. People like you make me fucking sad. Why are you out here? We was having a good day. We was here killing shit and relaxing, and then you gotta drop some stupid fucking shit in my chat. Come on, brah. Come on, Toe Taggin', you're better than that. You're way better than that. I know you're better than that if you're the age you're saying you are. You made it here. You aren't dead. You didn't do something stupid and die. Come on, man. You made it this far. Tell me that your pew-pew is so goddamn... You're talking like you got kids. Your pew-pew is so fucking important. You can look at your kid and say, yep, little Billy, you need to die in a horribly unspeakable, earth-shattering way so that Papa can keep his pew-pew because he is so goddamn terrified of the communists as seen in Hollywood movies from the early 70s. I mean, I had a buddy way back in the day. Man literally saved my fucking life. Literally saved my motherfucking life. I can't have more than one conversation a year with him now because he owns a fucking chicken farm and he's one goddamn extra time from becoming a Charlie Manson. I mean, I love the man, but he's gone off base. He's lost. He's lost, and as long as he don't hurt nobody, I ain't going to talk about him outside of that. Because he seems to be a harmless hippy-dippy type. But, come on, man. Out here ruining folks' day. I'm going to check the messages one more time, and then we're going to keep going with this. But, god damn.